Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pillars of EFT series Part 1. This is Nate from Globalscape, coming at you today to introduce an exciting new tutorial series designed to help you get the most from your enhanced file transfer solution. Let me just say that these tutorials are really only intended for current EFT users. Why? Well, because these tutorials are designed to help you make the most of the software that you already have. For now though, it's time to get those proverbial juices flowing and explore the first pillar of EFT, which is automation. So without further ado, let's get started. Because automation is an incredibly broad topic, I want to clarify that the type of automation we're talking about was designed to help organizations and their employees do things like adhere to corporate policies, define their business processes, and comply with federal regulations. And I would venture to say that anyone watching this video is already quite familiar with how each of these topics correlate with time and money. Yet, when it comes to leveraging automation, we have long found that there are no two companies out there that will approach a problem the exact same way. And that's okay. In fact, it's the very reason these tutorials were created. However, as federal agencies are very fond of reminding us, there is such a thing as an incorrect way of handling data. Thus, to whatever extent automation is used in your organization, it is paramount that it be used correctly. Fortunately, with EFT, this involves nothing more than defining triggers and building out workflows. Now, bear with me here, but I want you to imagine a conversation in which you are quite literally talking to your computer, and you're telling EFT, when this happens, I want EFT to make that happen. When a file is uploaded to a certain folder, I want EFT to notify someone via email. When the clock strikes midnight every Friday, I want EFT to copy every file in one folder and save them in a different folder. You get the idea. When this happens, I want that to happen. Now, notice that there were two statements in each of those examples, which we call the trigger and the workflow, respectively. The "when this happens" statement defines a trigger, and the "I want that to happen" statement defines a workflow. Finally, a specific step inside a workflow is called an action. Got it? Great. Of course, applying these principles to real-world scenarios can be a bit more complex. For instance, once a workflow is triggered, we might need EFT to actually perform a series of actions instead of just one. We may want those actions to occur in a specific sequence instead of all at once. And we may need the same workflow to behave differently under different circumstances. This introduces the concept of conditional logic, and what makes EFT so powerful is the degree to which you can script these kind of variables into your workflows without, well, scripting. If you remember, in the beginning I said that in order to use automation in EFT, we must do two things, right? We must first define our trigger, and then build out the resulting workflow. Workflows, in turn, are comprised of a series of actions along with qualifying statements called conditions. So let's take a quick look at how all of this is actually done within EFT. Here I am inside the main interface, and right off the bat, I have a couple different options available to me. This is because EFT offers two interrelated tools for creating and managing automation: the event rules, and for our more complex processes, the advanced workflow engine. Both are found on the main server tab and are accessed by selecting either the Advanced Workflows or the Event Rules liner icon. We'll cover both of these in great detail in the later videos, but for now, I'm going to click on the Event Rules icon. When I do, EFT displays a list of my available event rules, and if I were to click on one of them, I can preview the components of that event rule from within the Rule Overview window. This time, however, I want to start from scratch, and so I'm going to click on the New button. The Create New Event Rule window appears, and other than giving our new rule a name and a description, the very first thing we are prompted to do is to select the type of event we want to trigger the workflow. So let's go back to our first example wherein we want to notify someone anytime a file is uploaded to a certain folder. Since the uploads of interest pertain to a specific folder, we need to tell EFT to watch or, quote, monitor that folder. And so I will simply select Folder Monitor from the list and click Create. We are now inside the Event Rule Editor, where we can freely create, rearrange, and apply conditional logic to the resulting workflow. This works exactly in the way that we previously discussed, by combining various conditions and actions into what essentially becomes a flowchart. But the first thing we need to do is to finish our trigger statement by telling EFT which folder to monitor and what type of event to look for. So I click on the select link and the monitor folder window pops up. If I know the exact directory location, I can enter it in the text field, or in my case, I can search for the folder I want by clicking on the icon to the right. Now this part should be fairly self-explanatory, and I've already created a folder for this exercise, so I will go ahead and select it and click OK. The Browse for Folder window closes, and the underlying window now displays a few more options. Once again, we will cover these options during a later video, so I'm simply going to click the OK button one more time. Now it just so happens that the default condition statement associated with the folder monitor trigger is a file upload event, displayed here as if file change does equal to added. Or put another way, EFT will monitor the folder we told it to in the previous step, and if a file change occurs, specifically if a file is uploaded to that folder, EFT will automatically do something. What is it that EFT will do precisely? Well, nothing just yet, because our workflow is still incomplete. We are missing the final piece of the equation, which is an action statement. Now in this case, I already know that what I want EFT to do is to send an email to someone. So all I need to do is to select the condition statement that I want the action dependent upon, and double click on the Send Notification email line from the actions list, like so. Finally, to edit the email notification message, click the Select button on the action line. Once again, this part should be fairly self-explanatory to anyone familiar with Microsoft Outlook or a similar platform. Simply enter your recipients, subject, and draft your message. When done, click OK. And congratulations guys, with that we are done with our first workflow inside of EFT. Ironically, what we just did was create a great way to spam my inbox, as I will now receive an email anytime any file is placed or saved in that folder. So in practical application, we probably would have added several more conditions that specify file type, file name, etc. But the takeaway here is that these three universal components, when used correctly, can effectively and efficiently manage all of your system-to-system and person-to-person data transfer needs. In the upcoming videos, we'll showcase the practical application of each automation module. But just to give you an idea of what is possible, workflows can be initiated on either a scheduled interval or triggered by a multitude of file system, operating system, server or cloud network events. EFT can then perform both client and server type actions that span from email notification, upload download, copy move, file encryption, data sanitization and data integrity checking, even file translation or ETL type actions. So for more information on this, please stay tuned. Well, that's about it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for your business. And of course, your feedback is most welcome.